Hello and welcome everybody out there in D&D land. I hope you're having a fantastic Saturday. Before we jump into the action, be sure that if you are watching this newest session of the Stories of Exandria for the Empire or Her People campaign inspired by Critical Role, that you give us a like, a follow, and a subscription. All of that helps us out so very, very, very much. Also, I'm Roboto. Dono Onogato. God damn it. Let me check this real quick.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, it's on the streams, and is this better? Hogan, is this better? Okay, now. Good. So, everybody, thank you so much for being here. And if you are watching live, don't forget to follow us as well. We are trying by the end of January to hit 500 followers on this channel. If we can do that, we're going to be so very excited. Also, if you are enjoying this right now, then you should definitely hang out with us later tonight at 6 p.m. EST. We are going to be having our third session of Synodic Drift, a fully casted and funded by myself game that we are doing in this community. So yeah, if you're interested, definitely hang out with us. Hi, us. So, you all go with Reggie. He sets up, Sterling sets up a tiny hut. And you all go to sleep. Cool. Let me roll for encounters.
I was gonna say, can I enter Terran's dreams?
Yes, you can. So now nobody is watching. That's great.
True.
Well, if we're in the wilderness, I assume we'd be doing watches.
I gave you guys ample opportunity to say something.
Okay.
We have the dome, and typically I'm awake the whole time, so that's not an issue. But right now I'm inside Terran's mind, going to la 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 la.
Yeah.
Were we gonna wait until we got to Guarden for that, or?
I mean, we get an extra 2 tries if we do it along the way here.
True. Okay. So I'm going to delete that bottle out of my.
Shit face. Choke. Taryn, would you mind giving me a wisdom check? See if you can convince yourself to fall asleep.
Oh God, this is gonna be so bad.
Yeah. Owada, you sit there, waiting, and waiting, and waiting. And Taryn, instinct kicks in when you're drunk, and you just trance. You don't sleep. So the entire night, Owana is this close to your face.
Waiting for you to sleep.
And luckily, nothing attacks you in the middle of the night. Well, sorry, let me rephrase. There is a large bear, and when I say bear, dire bear, that walks by all of you. And kind of like sits on the hut. Owana, you're the only person who notices.
Stupid bear. Can't you see we're living here? Now I just have to look at its asshole.
Just like a damn cat. But eventually it does walk away. I hate that spell so much. Anyways. Morning rolls around, you all wake up, feeling spry, fresh, rejuvenated. Taryn, slightly hungover. Owana, nothing happened all day. All night.
Taryn, you know that in order for this magic to work, you actually have to sleep.
I try. I'm giving it my best. It's like asking somebody normal to stay up all night. It's weird.
It's like being with my husband. he can't sleep. He has trouble sleeping as well.
Well, let's just keep trying, and hopefully, eventually, we get it to work. But would it help if you're really tired at the end of the day?
I don't know.
I pick up I pick up a rock and hand it to her.
Would drugs
Here.
help?
Carry this.
I never try to sleep on purpose. Just when we're young, of course, that it's easier. But
Wait a minute. The drugs I'm thinking of are stimulants for your other character. It's stay awake. Never mind.
Here, just carry that rock the whole day, and you should be tired.
there are more preferable ways to wear myself out. Guess this will mean what I can do.
Okay, you can run. Just jog in place.
Still not preferable.
Maybe would hitting you over the head and knocking you unconscious work?
No, I don't.
Ooh. Kai raises his hand.
Well, that's difficult. Maybe we can buy a powder in Guardian that puts you to sleep.
Would a chokehold wouldn't work?
That passes out. It doesn't put you to sleep. There's a difference.
I know you're quite eager to give it a go, Kai, but
Yes. Unfortunately,
I
there
don't
are
think that will be the key here.
limiting factors of certain spells that can do this type of effect, and being an elf is one of those limitations. So,
Yes. That unfortunate little caveat.
well, good for elves, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess. Well, let's set off for Guardian. We should be able to reach there by tomorrow, so if my calculations are correct. And we can come up with more ideas.
And
So-
we'll need more liquor, because that was the last of mine.
I don't have any.
Is liquor the only thing that relaxes you?
No.
Well, what else? What can we do to help you out?
There's nothing I want from you, Reginald, that would help me relax.
Very well. Well, then, I am technically off the clock today. He reaches underneath his robe and pulls out a joint and starts smoking it.
All right, speed walk.
The entire time he is smoking, he begins to offer to everybody, aside from Taryn.
I may have been mistaken.
Kai takes it.
Okay. How avid of a midnight toker would you consider yourself, Kai?
I don't medium.
Okay. This is medium grade as well. The quality is pretty decent, but it's definitely something that you can relax to while strolling through the area. Sneak?
Nah, sneak.
Are you
Not
sure
something that
it
really
is
bothers me.
medicinal in nature? My line of work stresses people out tremendously.
I was going to say, are you ill?
My line of work stresses people out tremendously.
Especially when he tortures people.
I do not physically torture people. Usually the simple threat of doing it is enough to get them to speak. I
And
mean,
yeah,
most people are really
I think-
weak-willed.
I think technically threatening to hurt someone does count as torture.
Well, I said physically.
and would stress them out.
Ugh. It's fine.
Very well.
I've encountered it on my travels and doesn't do anything for me.
That is fair. Offers to you, Oana.
No, thank you.
Very well.
I'm good for now.
So, Kai and Reggie, both of you are going to be high as balls while traveling today. Everyone else are the sober ones. So the two of you are practically useless on this endeavor, other than going, do you think there's any wild berries around here?
Don't listen to the berries, they speak to you.
Yeah, and if he's high, Kai will probably be hitting on Reggie, even though it's not useless.
Why is everything nature-based trying to kill me out here? Like, this place
I
should
never
burn.
said they kill you. It's far worse.
We should just
What
burn
is
the
going
entire
on in this
forest.
part of the world? Do you know, Reggie? This will not happen often, but I'm tending to agree with you. I don't. What in God's name?
Yeah, just give me a half an hour. I can burn down the entire forest.
Oh, I think there might be a few things that would not like that. Just give me a head start, because I'm running.
Why don't you enlighten us, little missy, huh? Why don't you tell us what's going on? And he pulls out a second joint at this time.
There's stories that you hear growing up in Guarden.
Then share
The-
these wondrous
the
stories
things.
with us. Things.
The things in the forest.
Things.
There's all sorts of stories. Stories about wandering through the forest, getting lost, not being able to find your way back, getting lured away from the path by a voice. It might sound like your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad, a friend, someone who has never even come to Guarden. And then once you follow the voice, you find yourself on a circuitous route. And before you know it, you're not even in the forest anymore. You're in another place.
Roll me a performance check, Oana. Or are you trying to
Manuel,
spook people?
I may have been
No, I'm
mistaken.
just telling them.
What are you saying, Taryn?
I was gonna say, I may have been mistaken as to your offerings. You mind sharing now that I've heard all that?
By all means, here. He hands you one. And then ignites his thumb and just lights it.
Now, I was joking. The berries won't talk to you.
So
I
we
was just
can eat
trying-
the berries. That's good.
You can eat the berries, although some
a
might be
berry.
poisonous. I don't know. I was just trying to spook you on that, but the rest is true.
The rest is true. Okay. So the forest is going to try to kill me. Good to know.
Oh no.
Uh,
Okay.
well,
I'm
my
getting some very
baseline of
strange
don't
implications.
my baseline of don't fuck with shit is it wants to kill me. So,
I know someone who was lost for several months, and then they came back thinking not even a day had passed.
well, that would be very unfortunate for all of us. And it just happens.
I wouldn't say just happens.
Though they will be safe if they're in there, correct? Like, they come out alive more than likely?
The ones I've known, but I don't think that's true in all cases.
Very well, very well. Ah. I'm really fucking tired of rations. I haven't eaten any of the food from Nicodranus, for fear that some of it would, well, be poisoned by our enemies.
I saw a dire bear last night. Do you like bear?
Bear is decent food. Not the best.
I think it tried to poop on us.
If a bear shits in the woods.
For the first time since all of you have known Reggie, he's laughing hysterically. That's just... bear shits. It just...
You're much more agreeable once you've had a smoke.
Well, I'm not working right now, so... When I work, nobody has to like me, I just need to work. Oh, but I am concerned about our group dynamic.
Go on.
Oh, I thought I shared it.
No.
What about the group dynamic is concerning to you?
We are lacking in this particular field of expertise. Mainly, we do not have somebody who, has a tremendous understanding of the world outside of a comprehensive nature, as well as somebody who can heal us. This is very
That is.
unfortunate.
Yes.
That's a good point. We took a long rest. I've healed my broken ankle.
It was only sprained. You're fine. But-
Well,
Yeah.
there are talented healers in Tal'Dorei, and we can see if perhaps we could recruit one on the way.
That's not a bad idea. We are definitely at risk of injury. I mean, it depends. I think as long as we have a good social fit in our group, as long as the ideals match up, I'm not too concerned about people's individual abilities.
Well, I am. I certainly am. If I ever work with individuals, usually the first thing I do is recruit somebody who is willing to heal and deal with various ailments to assist me. And the next thing I do is get somebody who's just a fucking tank. And no offense to any of you, Sneak, your forearms are very large, but you're not a fucking tank. You look like
Okay.
a young man who just discovered his ability to woo-woo, you know?
I've got a 19 AC and 60 hit points. I am somewhat beefy.
Sure.
Karen has more.
Wow.
Are
Oh,
we?
I have
Yeah.
more hit points than you.
Are we still drunk?
Hi, you're high.
Hi. Okay. Hi.
Yeah.
when-
So long
when,
as you're willing to smoke, he has, from when the last party left him, and he only had 1 day off since then, he has a pound of weed on him. So he is, yeah.
When Kai
The other party
When-
had a druid who just grew it for him. Like, it's,
when Kai
Why is it with
hears
D&D and druids growing drugs?
why not? Yeah, Kai?
when Kai hears large, he looks and his in his trousers briefly.
But yes, that's usually the very first thing I do. And don't get me wrong, all of you have decent skill sets. It's just the fact that some of our skill sets are overlapping. Like, for infiltration. Aside from Moana, all of us are great at it.
That's a fair point.
What? I'm excellent at infiltration. Do you have any idea? Oh wait, you don't have.
Yeah,
any idea
no,
what I
you
can do.
you have a +1 to stealth. He has no fucking clue. He's seen you attempt
It's
to
true.
stealth,
We
and
could
that's
probably
it.
do. Unfortunately, our current situation, the only way we can improve on that is if Sneak suddenly decides that he's fed up of being alive.
No. We don't do that here.
Just
What, you
Sad.
explode?
sad character explodes.
Hey
Reroll
guys,
character.
I'm just gonna wander into this forest, okay? Actually, that's probably what Sterling's gonna do, is wander into the forest and be like, well, we'll pick him up in 6 months or so.
Oops. He went to take a shit. Oh, where's Sterling?
Oh. Let's not go in there looking for him. That's only gonna fuck all of us up. He'll be back in 6 months or so.
Well,
Actually, that's a good
the
exit
forest claims
strategy.
another.
Good. We're done.
Yeah. Oh, well, I guess we are 5 now.
Ah. We'll have to pick him up in a few months. So.
That's unfortunate. I should have told that story earlier.
Yeah, I agree. You should definitely make us aware of the circumstances before the circumstances could affect us.
That's true.
Have you ever practiced writing reports? In all honesty, it's the one portion of my job that I find dreary and boring.
I
Wait, you're
don't think I've
actually
ever written
accountable
one.
for the things you have to do?
Well, if I need assistance, I need to write a full report into an individual who's going to respond to me. Accountability is a subjective term. From your understanding of accountability, no. Mentally, I am accountable for myself. Bureaucratically, not at all. It is one of the perks of being a Volstruck. In fact, it's why I became one in the first place.
I've never written one. Have y'all?
I have.
It is nothing short of a small miracle that I am even capable of writing.
Oh, please, you do not strike me as that ill-intelligent. You
I'm
just
not
strike me as
intelligent, just
mildly...
uneducated.
Well, I mean... Writing is a skill that you could pick up on just by association of other details of different individuals.
Yes, that's how I did. But I grew up in an orphanage and then spent my entire teenage years stowing away on ships. Not many opportunities for schooling.
So,
Prostitutes I grew up with taught me how to read and write.
you grew up with prostitutes.
I grew up in a brothel.
Oh,
It explains a lot, doesn't it?
not even in the closest. What happened to his hygiene?
The obsession with balls, certainly.
Has Reggie experienced the Nutcracker 5000 yet?
No.
Has he
No.
seen it in
Kai might
action?
want these nuts later, so he's
No,
holding on.
Not has Kai kicked Reggie in the nuts. Has Reggie seen Kai's
As of
nut crushing abilities?
no. In fact, Kai is the only one here that Reggie hasn't seen do anything except run.
And
That's perfect.
Yeah, like he actually wondered, why are you the one watching me? Like, authentically, like, why? He has no idea what Kai does. He just thinks he's a
And-
smelly fucking homeless man that follows you guys around and complains all the time.
I mean,
And-
he's not wrong.
Actually, he's very wrong. Kai has a home.
I have property.
Yeah.
You and some other people who are spread out across the world.
Yeah, I mean, just me and Sneak at this point.
Yeah.
True.
So, yes, I am fully unaware of what most of you are capable of doing. I mean, I did a little bit of research into Terran. 17 registered assassinations. That is quite a fucking feat.
That's all the registered, of course.
Well, I figured as much, but I mean, that's, that's decent.
Rule of 3, right?
What?
It's like the rule of 3. If you ask a guy how many women he's had, he tells you a number, you divide it by 3. You ask a woman how many men she's killed, she gives you the number, you times it by 3.
For some reason, I don't think it applies in this particular circumstance, because she seems the type who's very proud of the number of assholes she has killed.
38.
Wow,
So is
pretty
Kai.
good.
Just over double.
No, he does something else to the asshole. He does not kill him.
Yeah.
Ooh, this fucking game.
I'll give you a licking, boy.
Please, no.
You- that's a key point.
TVMA, okay? Let's... Anyway.
Hey, it's an old-timey phrase for punching someone.
Yeah, it's a new-timey phrase for something else.
It's like a flurry of blows.
I actually still want to make that shirt as our first bit of merchandise. Flurry of blow them. Just we have to use Kai.
Yeah, sounds good.
But anyways, he continues walking with you on and goes, in all honesty, it's so you're good at assassination. Sneak thinks incredibly highly of himself and his own skill sets, which are, to say the least, decent across the board. I think that is a fair, accurate assessment. Oana, you are very strange. Your skill sets in magic seem whimsical at best.
Kai nods.
Well,
But I don't know
Hold
how
on, I'm
useful you
sorry.
are in a fight.
well, in the recent past, I haven't been. The only fight I've really been in lately, I ended up paralyzed on the floor for a minute.
Well, that
That
sounds.
was
Then
quite
with
funny,
that,
to be
yeah.
fair.
And again, this is why I believe we should have somebody who's able to just rectify that situation quickly.
Well, I was also a bit difficult to find at the time.
Oh yes, you were invisible as well.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate for you.
I'm glad that wasn't an hour-long paralysis.
Well, that's another reason why magic is useful, but to rely on it is very well.
I am of
It is
the
mischievous.
I am of the personal belief that if you are going to rely on magic, you should understand it in and out before you ever even practice it, so that you understand your own limitations.
You would hate watching me practice magic. I don't know where the fuck it comes from.
Well, you've explained it very clearly. You were corrupted as a baby.
Oh, yes, but I mean, my magic, I know how I got my magic, but I don't have a single clue how it works.
I think you are very ugly. And in all honesty, if it wasn't for the magical equipment on you, I think that you would be completely useless to this entire party.
I'll look back at them.
Fuck you, Reggie. Fuck you.
But seriously, I think like if we go through one no magic field, you are going to be utterly a hindrance to all of us and potentially get us all killed.
I think you can say that of three of us.
Yeah, you're a fire mage. If we go through an anti-magic field, you also are fucking useless.
No, I have more skills outside of just my magic. You, however,
what?
I am a tremendous tracker, incredible scribe. My
You got
forgery
lost to go
skills.
into a lake, Reggie.
I am a tremendous tracker, not locator. But seriously, Sneak, I don't think there's any.
I have competency with fighting.
Really?
Have you've seen me fight, right? I fight with a sword. It's a magical sword, but I have other weapons that I use.
I see you summon magic and use that to fight for you.
You know what? Next time we draw up camp, you and I are going to duel. A little spar, just to prove a point. I will not use any magic whatsoever.
He looks at the other three and then points at Sneak's eyes, which are currently like slightly glowing with purple. Your magic comes from your emotions. The more angry, the more sad, the more hectic you get, the more powerful it can become in the future.
Still high. Reggie sounds normal.
Yeah, you're still high, but he was trying to see.
He's being relatively profound.
Yeah, but he was trying to prod you to see if that is what you are. Now he knows you're a sorcerer. You're an emotional caster.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. I've never made any attempt to hide that. So it's like I'm clearly not religious.
Yeah.
I'm not a bookworm. What are your other options? I'm not here singing around my little lute. Going,
Yeah. You also don't have a sugar daddy or mama, so like, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I
Well.
just wanted to see what your capabilities were. Excuse me if any of that was terribly offensive to all of you, but we
Eh.
pried it out of you, and now we are fully aware. Controlling your emotions and focusing them in a particular direction can increase your magical potential by a large portion and margin.
I too call people ugly to figure out what they're capable of.
It's just like he's not even upset. It's just like, what? Go fuck yourself.
Just walk up to someone. Your makeup is terrible.
God, those shoes with that shirt. Ugh, disgusting.
Well, the first question. Well, he'll explain it. Well, the first thing that I said was you were ugly, which, in all fairness, you are not my type, but I do not consider you, unattractive. And that is to prod to see exactly how vain your magic comes from. There are individuals who love themselves so very much that they produce magic from that nature, much in the same way as a typical bard can. But they are bard of themselves in their own beauty.
Oh, I understand that.
Yes.
God, I need to make a bard called Slanesh.
Just hold up a mirror and go, look at me! And that's all of your spell casting. Do you realize how hot I am? Like, just...
While they're talking, I'm going to surreptitiously cast a minor illusion and make whispers come from the nearby woods.
Stop being an asshole.
All right, Kai, Oana, and Taryn, wisdom saves. Because you're high.
Let's see. Wisdom.
Not Oana, I meant Taryn. Sorry. And then Reggie rolled his. Yeah, all three of you are just like, well, we don't go in there. And he just keeps walking. He's been around enough things that try to kill him. He just avoids it and problem solves.
He's like,
Hey, look, another thing that'll kill me.
I'm sure a flurry of blows will take care of it.
Go try that.
I would encourage you not to try that. We already lost Sterling that way.
Does that count now?
Don't worry, we'll pick him up in like 5 months or so. He can get in contact with us.
As long as he doesn't starve to death, I think he should be fine.
he'll be all right. He's handy. In that way.
Well, that's just great. Now we
Not
have
that
exactly
way.
0 people with the potential of healing any of us. This is tremendous.
Yeah, that's not ideal, but what can you do when a forest swallows your bard? You're kind of SOL.
True. I wonder if Guadin has a large enough shop. Do you think that apothecary is still there that we saw the other day?
I have no idea. I haven't been back there in almost a decade or more.
Really?
Yeah.
No wonder we failed by so much. It's not the same place.
It's the same place. Minor details might have changed, but
Minor details matter very greatly with these types of spells. Anyways, he continues walking, and halfway through the day, you all sober up enough because he's not smoking more than 2 joints a day. And he's not sharing more than that either. Okay, so we're about to enter into a new city with new customs. I imagine there are going to be specific things that we should do and certain things we should not. For instance, do you have a marquise?
I believe we have a council with one head that the rest of the Menagerie Coast identifies as an equal to the Marquise of other cities.
Kai snorts when he hears head, still a little bit high.
So you do have a marquise. What do we refer to them as?
Hold on, let me look it up.
Noldar.
The Noldar.
The Noldar. Which is Elvish for similar heads, meaning one of the heads of council.
Mm-hmm.
The Noldar. Okay. And I believe that you will have interactions with what's it called, the Clovis Concord.
Yes, I think Guardian is a part of the Clovis Concord, though they maintain their what is it called? Autonomy.
Very well. Is there any estranged religion that we should be wary of? Oh.
Refrain from discussing the betrayers. Those you're not permitted to worship them openly.
Well, obviously,
Oh,
isn't that
shit.
the rule everywhere?
Apparently
Well,
not.
I mean, I don't know what you're into. I do judge you, but I don't know.
Fair enough.
Hi, Snickers.
And yeah, I think that's everything we need to know. Is there any customs, greetings that you all do?
Normal for the Menagerie Coast. Nothing unusual in that regard. Just understand that a large portion of the city is Elvish, so the customs here are of Elvish descent, and so things that Elvish culture is Elvish culture. It has its own little mannerisms. I'm sure you've encountered it before. Just understand that that's very prominent here. And I don't expect we'll be in the city long, but don't try to pry into the metallurgy used in the city. It's
So
a
what?
carefully guarded secret.
The
The
metal.
metalworking.
Oh,
They work metal.
really?
They're very proud of it and secretive about it.
Well, I am not going to be speaking to anybody while we are here if we can help it, as, well, we are incredibly close to Tal'Dorei, and I'm not very good at hiding my accent.
Understood.
I think I sound
Um,
incredibly Zemnian.
Obnoxiously so.
That's what I assumed.
Then be nice.
I imagine we'll only
That
stay
is
long
none.
enough to stock up.
Very well. I would like to procure some potions for any of you that are going to be going shopping. Can you pick me up some and I shall reimburse you? I am willing to spend 300 gold on this.
Health
I'll
health
cover it.
potions, I assume.
Yes, and if there's any materials necessary for anti-poisons, that would be very useful as well. But do not
I
buy
can
them
look into
full
this.
price. Those are ridiculously overpriced.
I can take us to the place where it'll be normal priced. There's very few tourists in Guardian of all places.
Well,
Most people only come here for business.
typically speaking, individuals who sell it after they've already constructed it themselves are doing so at a profit. If you buy me the material components, it will always be cheaper because I can just make it myself while we travel.
Oh, perfect.
Yes.
You said anti-poison, but are you proficient in making poisons themselves?
I have a rudimentary understanding of how to construct mundane poisons.
That could be useful.
Well, if you pick up the necessary components, I should be able to construct it within my own allocated time. Yeah. He has skills outside of magic. He can poison. So, you all continue walking forward until you get out into this open, beautiful grove that's right outside the cusp of a forest. The forest is roughly about a mile or so away, but it looms so heavily in the sky that you do see it very predominantly. There appears to be a scattering of buildings that become much more frequent as you walk past them, and it almost fades naturally into what appears to be a fairly large looking village for those of you that have been to some of the more populated areas of the world, you could not possibly consider this a city, but an incredibly large village. Um, Walking through, there's many different beautiful pieces of elven architecture that is either imported or crafted here. There are these enormous brass-looking animal sculptures just littering people's front lawns and around different aspects of buildings of dominance or predominance. And as you are walking through, Reggie looks around and goes, yes, a lot of this has changed. And Oana, a lot of it has changed. There used to be an outer perimeter wall, which now is gone, apparently. What do you call it? Sorry, it's a very odd name. The Korwa Ring has expanded to about 50% of the population, and the village itself has expanded in a very large number of individuals. The population seems to have increased in the last decade by a considerable margin. The district where you grew up in, many of those homes seem to have been destroyed, and now they have newer, not necessarily nice, but newer looking estates built out of wood and some stone structures throughout it.
Wow, they've improved a lot.
But 10 years is a very long time, and to be fair, the mines that you all have access to, and he's saying this quietly under his breath so like nobody else is really listening. The mines that you all have access to are incredibly profitable, so it only makes sense that you would continue to expand what you do.
Yeah, I tend to agree. It's just a little shocking to see such a drastic change in, between visits.
Well, I am going to go procure a room to stay at.
Sure.
You
I
have-
guess
Do you have a
we'll.
place?
I
Would you
can
like
go
one of us
help you
to?
find a.
What? Both of you spoke at the same time. I have no idea what you said. Taryn,
Go
go.
ahead.
I was going to ask if you'd like one of us to procure it, and you could.
Typically
Can you
speaking,
do
it
it?
is very easy to get a room. You hand over too much gold, and they let you take it.
I can lead
Well-
us to an area where I suspect we might be able to find an inn rather quickly. I don't think the city has changed so drastically that I won't be able to locate a place.
By all means.
And then once we get a room, we can split up and go shopping, and then reconvene at night.
Yes. If there happens to be an incredibly rare aspect of poison that has not been fully developed yet, feel free to procure that, and I will compensate you for it as well. Outside of my funds allocated for potions. Donka.
Okay.
So, where are you taking them to get rooms?
Just at a standard place, nothing too nice, but nothing like squalid either.
Okay. So you are going to be heading over towards the War Dome. It's a fairly decent inn. It's seated fairly close to a little pond that some of the upper floor rooms can overlook with their own tiny little custom widow's peaks put into the rooms. As the roof is at an angle, it was an attic that was expanded slightly and then transformed into rooms. There's only about 8 of them in there. And they're all fairly small as well, but it does give you a nice view and a simple place just to find lodging fairly cheap. You go inside and he looks at all of you to do the talking.
Hi, can we get 2 rooms for just tonight?
2 rooms for all of you? We don't allow any of that fancy stuff in this location, okay?
Oh, don't worry. It's just boys and girls.
1, 2. 1, 2, 3. You're gonna need 3 rooms. Unless you all like cuddling.
I think we're fine with cuddling.
Very well. That'll run you 2 rooms, 2 silver. And Reggie just puts a gold on the table.
Kai looks over at Tara and winces and looks over at Reggie.
Don't worry, Kai. You can sleep with us.
Perhaps 3. And
And he'll hold up 3 fingers as well.
and then I'll pay the silver for that.
Oh, he paid a gold for.
Oh, he paid a gold.
Yeah,
okay.
he'll hold up 3 fingers, and yeah, he wants 3 rooms. Fuck that. He's getting his own room. You guys share. Unless somebody wants to procure their own room. But he's just gonna take his key, hands a key over to Owana, and hands a key over to Kai, and then goes upstairs.
Excellent. So let's reconvene here after we do some shopping.
Not much of a talker, is he?
Terrible accident. He was having a bit too much fun one night and vocal cords gone.
Okay then. And she just goes back to wiping down the bar.
So shopping. I'm going to go and search for just one thing, and that's going to be a powder that can induce sleep.
Okay.
I'll need arrows. Since now that I have picked up longbow here. Now, Alana, is there a place for is there imported spirits here, perhaps?
Oh, yeah, you should be able to find just about anything. You might have to go to an actual dedicated store for it, and it might be a bit more expensive than you're used to, but it should be here.
All right. And on top of that also, is there well, short of other things, perhaps going out for dancing would help.
I presume there are DM, are there clubs here, or is it too small of
A club, no. You can find a tavern, and if you're lucky, there would be somebody passing by who, performs in nature. This is not typically the type of area that would have access to a club.
Well, we can look for either a street performer, or we could go to one of the more rowdy taverns, and believe me, there's plenty of dancing there.
Sounds fine to me.
Excellent. And thank you for putting yourself through this. I understand it's not natural to sleep, as someone who doesn't really partake in it myself.
Oh, I want to see this through, and if personally, for one, it is the job, and 2, my heart breaks for Snake with all of this as well, so I'll see it through, whatever it takes.
Okay.
So, there's only a couple of apothecaries that you're aware of in town, Owana. Those would be the locations that would have some type of sleeping ointment or sedative of sorts. And the problem is, it's kind of an awkward conversation asking for stuff like that. Hey, do you have something that could force somebody to sleep even if they're an elf? Yeah, kind of. So I need you to roll me a persuasion roll at disadvantage.
Okay, persuasion.
15. As for a specific sedative, you kind of get yelled out of a couple of shops. They're very bothered by the fact that that's even a fucking question. And they don't give you time to really explain it very well. Yeah. So that's going to be the better part of your afternoon searching for this. Taryn, what are you looking for?
Arrows and the components for poisons.
Okay. So you go over.
And anti-poisons.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's good to have anti-poison against rogues, guys. It's really good. So you go over to one of the blacksmith shops and you see an elven individual who's currently just refining some tips of blades and looks over at you. Is there anything I can help you with?
Hi, I'm in need of arrows, please.
How many would you like?
A quiver.
And a quiver.
40.
40 arrows? You need 2 quivers for 40 arrows. Or are you okay bundling up 20 of them at a time?
I can bundle them as well.
Very well. And they go over to one of their barrels and starts pulling out all of these arrows one at a time, counting them on the table. Once they get to the first 20, they grab out a piece of hempen rope and just tie and knot it together. Then they reach into the barrel and pull out another 20 of them. They look at the back wall and they go, which of these quivers would you be interested in? They have about 5 of them. There's one that is black with brown trimming. There's one that is brown with black trimming. There's one that has some green filigree put across it, just making it look a little more flowery in nature. There's a red-based one with brown trimming. And there's one that is completely black.
The completely black.
Very well. They take that one. Yeah. It's like she's a rogue or something. Though, to be fair, brown is actually the optimal color when you're trying to blend into darkness. Black is not. Black is contrarian to dark. As odd as that sounds.
Edgier than a razor blade factory.
Exactly. That's why I always yell at people who's like, my character lives in the shadows in all black. Well, that's actually not accurate. You want to be wearing brown, like a dark brown, to blend in better with more diverse sets of colors. You'll fit in a little bit better, but whatever. It's okay.
My character's not about fitting in. They're a lone wolf, a loose cannon.
I'm Batman. But anyways, she gets all of this together for you and goes over to the counter, and I think this is going to run you 6 gold.
Okay.
Yep. Well, thank you very much for the purchase. If you need anything else while you're in town, don't hesitate to come on by.
Of course, thank you.
And the entire conversation was in Elven. Kai, are you looking for anything?
No, I'm good.
Sneak, are you looking for anything?
I don't think there's all that much I actually need. But I will go looking for the health potions.
Hey.
For our buddy Flamio.
Okay. You and Taryn both arrive at one of these apothecaries as Oana is being screamed at to leave and is leaving.
I'm going to completely ignore any knowledge that person is known to me.
If I see them go in, I'll wait for them to finish and come out.
Okay. The two of you go in there.
The person's waiting.
The two of you go in there, and there is an elvish, half-elf-looking individual just shaking their head and goes, the audacity of some of these people. This is like, they're just getting bored. New customers. Hello. Hi. How are you? In perfect elvish. Sneak, you understand hello.
Yeah, I say hello back in kind of broken elvish, like as best I can. Peasant elvish, basically.
In common,
but
I will get to you very shortly, okay?
Thank you.
Back in elvish. So what can I help you with, ma'am?
I am looking for components to create an anti-poison And if you have any that work the other way, I'm interested in that as well.
Well, I may have a few components that, if combined together, can become a bit of a lethal sensation for individuals.
Mhm.
Are you looking for some that would paralyze, some that would harm? What?
Paralyzing sounds perfect.
Okay. And you said you want anti-poison. I have vials of anti-poison at my disposal if you are interested in buying any of them.
More the components, please.
Very well. She goes over and filters through a little bit. For the poison components, you're looking at 150 gold.
Okay.
For enough to make 1 dose of paralyzing extract. And for the anti-poison, she has access to 3 doses worth of raw
Okay.
material. Are you interested in procuring them? They're 25 gold each.
Yes.
Okay, so that'll be 150, so 225 gold total. And you have the necessary components to make 1 paralyzing extract and 3 anti-poisons. Well, if there's anything else that you need, be sure to come on by. And also, don't mix up which ones are which. That could be very bad.
Of course. This one here and this one here.
Then she turns over to you, Sneak. Well, hello there. How may I be of assistance?
Good afternoon, Nathan. I was wondering, did you have any health potions available? Any sort of quality? A variety would actually be helpful.
Would you mind rolling me 3d4? Or sorry, a d6 and 2d4.
Yeah,
Well,
boy.
I have a variety of them at my disposal. We currently have 6 common healing potions. She pulls out a milk tray, like one of those carriers that have 3 and 3 bottles, and puts it on the counter, all of which with a healing potion. We also have access to 2 graters, pulls them out, puts them on the counter, and I am not going to bring them out because that would be very dangerous for me, but I do have a number of superior as well.
How much are the greater and superior?
Well,
Says
hello,
a
other
voice that
person.
isn't there.
Well, hello, other person who is here right now. Hi, how are you?
Oh, I thought I was with everyone else.
We can assume you
yeah,
were
sure.
with Sneak, sure, but she's like, excuse me, he is the one doing the purchases right now.
How much are the greater and the superior?
The greater ones are 200 gold, and the superior is 800 gold.
I will take
Remember
all
the anti-poisons were 75. So out of the funds that he said he'd want to spend, it was 225 that are left.
Okay, so yes, 4 of the healing potion, the basic healing potions will be for Reggie. The other 2 will be for me, and I will buy 1 greater healing as well. So yes, I will take all of the regular and 1 greater, please.
So that's 300 plus 200, so that's a total of 500 gold.
Jawohl.
Alrighty. You do that. Be sure to add that to your sheet. I'll add these to his sheet. You're giving him 4. You're giving him 4 of the basics.
Yeah.
Good. Now she looks over at you, Kai. Oh, wait, you're a half-elf, aren't you? Kai?
Yes.
She'll speak Elvish to you then. Well, hello there, sir. Are you interested in procuring the remainder of these potions? Our greater ones are 200 gold each, and our superior ones are 800 gold.
How many greater do you have left?
I have a good
1?
number of them. 4. Or no, greater? 1. We only have one more remaining.
Yeah. I'll take one greater potion.
Very well. That's 200 gold. Go ahead and add that to your character sheet. That's the
Thank you.
4d4 plus 4. Yeah, potions are weak and fucking expensive. But, I mean, when you need them, you fucking need them.
I'm imagining that Ohana is just on a ledge looking through the window, watching all of this happen.
Very creepy. Well then, I hope all of you have a fantastic time in Elvish.
Thank you kindly. Taryn says in common to include sneeze.
Alrighty. So, do you all leave?
Mm-hmm.
Great. Okay.
So
Where are you guys
did we go
going?
in there?
I assume we find Oana just waiting outside, like
Literally
someone
watching
that's
the
been
lip.
thrown out of a nightclub.
Yeah, yeah.
That's definitely been me. So Oana, why were you thrown out?
I don't know. Every apothecary I've met in Guardian has been so mean.
I mean, they haven't exactly been fantastic to me. Seems like it's
I
been
know.
an effort for them to speak common.
It's ridiculous. So much has changed since I was last here. In fact, I'm gonna peek my head through the door.
Yeah.
Can I see him?
Her, yeah.
Her?
Mhm.
I'm gonna cast Phantasmal Force on her.
Intelligence save?
Yes.
This is not a charm effect.
No.
Oh. She immediately, stares around and... What was that? And then
Oh,
looks
she
over...
succeeds?
Oh, she rolled a natural 19.
Okay.
It's rare, but sometimes NPCs are decent.
Okay.
So she
Okay,
looks over
fine.
at you and now...
I'm gonna squint at her and do the eye thing.
Alrighty. Roll me a perception check as you're leaving.
Okay. Perception. Oh.
Accurate. So now all of the actual party members are outside together.
Yeah. Anyway.
Alana,
Yes.
let it be. Let's go on.
Fine.
I gives her a high five as Taryn is looking away.
Well, I was trying to get you something that would help you sleep, but doesn't seem like we're going to be able to get it in this city.
Mhm. Well, if there is that specialty store, I'm sure that is the place that will help, and we're gonna go looking for it.
Sounds good.
All right.
Going to the ABC store.
The embassy store?
ABC store.
So just the general store.
No, it's
Liquor.
the liquor store.
Oh!
She's looking for something that's imported, so that would remind her of home.
Okay. So it turns out there's actually a very large vanity shop that has kind of like a walk-in component. To the left-hand side, there's an assortment of wine racks. To the right-hand side, there's a separate building that is filled with nothing but casks of ale from all over the world, presumably. And then there's the central grove where you can talk to a someone who more is a connoisseur of this type of stuff to handle your shopping needs in this location. It turns out that in Guardian, alcohol is an incredible importation that everybody values very, very, very much.
It's one of those things. Everyone wants it.
Of course. Do you happen actually to have mead?
Did you say you want mead?
I did.
What kind?
Something with pine.
Pine mead?
Yes.
Oh, let me go look. They look highly bothered by this sequence of questions. And goes over towards many of the casks. And as she wanders through, she like begins talking to somebody who was further past the front row, and they said, "I don't understand. They seem very hard. Like I don't know what to do. This is fine. Excuse me, but my employer is going to assist you from here on out." And the individual runs off. And you see a man walk around the corner. Fairly pale face with a scar that goes up his chin over his lip. Definitely an upward slash with the depth that hit the chin and went up. And he has feathered back black hair and pointed elven ears as well to look very, bland and boring. But he wanders outwards and looks at all of you. Well, hello there. I hear you are interested in an imported mead, with pine as a focus. I assume that is the wood you would like it to be kept in, treated with.
Yes.
Very well. Are you perhaps looking for something in particular that I can help you with a bit more graciously, or is there a purpose for this that you are needing assistance with?
Well, looking for a taste of home.
Taste of home.
I'm from Tal'Dorei, you see.
Oh, wonderful. What part of Tal'Dorei, may I ask? And he's starting to like walk and look at all of the casks and looking for something.
Near Whitestone, the pine trees there make for an excellent cask.
It also makes for a delicious rum in particular.
It does, but the honey of the mead is much more to my taste.
That is fair. And they sit fairly close to many of the casks in order to read them, and goes up and down. Well, a honey mead made from the Bears of Whitestone's own reserve, kept in a pine cask. We have a small cask of it right here. And he pulls it out, and it's one of those 5-gallon casks. Are you interested in this?
I am.
Well, what is it that all of you are offering for this barrel?
What's the going rate?
Well, money is kind of drab to me right now. What about a story, huh?
Story?
Well, it's not every day you get to meet somebody from Tal'Dorei, or a group of out-of-towners here in Gwarden. What about a story? Fun little adventure. I'm sure your party has done great things with one another. If you're willing to trade a little time for the cask, it'll be yours.
Well, sure.
And he escorts you out into that frontal area where you do see there is a pond outside and a row of benches all circulating over a table, which he places the cask onto and begins pouring drinks for everybody. They have one of those small cups that are wide to let it air a bit more, that you have at every tasting event that you've ever been to in your life. And he just hands one to each of you. So, please, enlighten me with a story.
Of course. Well, the first time I arrived in the Menagerie Coast, made a blunder of not, well, let's just say I wore boots to a particular event that required other footwear, and that was perhaps the biggest social debacle of the month in the coast itself. You can imagine how poorly that went.
This may be a bad idea. This story sounds boring.
You did just miss our bod. What kind of story is it that you're truly trying to hear?
Anything with heroism, loss, triumph, something romantic in nature, and the traditional sense of romantic, meaning Roman in nature, with all of their stories, not, lovey-dovey horseshit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excuse me, it's very rude. What are all of your names?
I take it this is all still in Elvish, right?
He's been speaking common this whole time.
Oh, okay. In that case, Sneak will say, my name is Sneak.
Wonderful.
Originally from the coast, though never up this far inland.
Kai.
And
Kai blurts out, Kai.
and I'm Oana. Nice to meet you.
I'm Taryn.
My name is Cask. Wonderful to meet you all.
Pleasure, Cask.
It's a fitting name.
When you're born into it, right?
I'd be more than happy to sing you a song.
Have we heard Oana sing yet?
No.
Not sure I trust this.
I just want
Let's go.
a little entertainment for once. This town it's been so very boring for so long.
I have something.
Please.
It's a story from my childhood. About the only one I have, actually. I was brought up from a very young age in an orphanage, but I do have one solitary memory of a story from home. It is of a group of adventurers that are traveling along the road. They encounter a group of injured soldiers in need of assistance. Several of their party is dead. One is gravely injured. The one who's in any kind of shape to speak says that they are in need of help. They've attempted to clear out the lair of some great beast, and it bested them. Apologies. They sought out the lair of this great beast, but it bested them, and they could not continue. Adventurers, being the kinds of people they are, they offered to take over this quest for them. They go up the road in the direction they were pointed and see the mouth of a cave. Quite clearly, some kind of fight has gone on here. There are more bodies, and some of them clearly have been turned to stone. Some powerful magic is at play, or most likely a Medusa. These things are common. We understand this concept. the adventurers, they go into the cave, they search out, and they find a central cavern with one solitary statue in it of a man, a soldier, but one wearing different uniform than the others. Older, not in combat readiness. His things are put aside. On his face is a look of great betrayal, shock and horror. Frozen on his knees. It seems that near this statue there is a trail of blood, and they follow this. They see the great beast they have been hunting. It's the other group are hunting. Turns out she was already wounded, crawled back into the cave to die from her wounds. After a little searching, they discovered the true story of this Medusa. Is of a poor monster girl that fell in love with a man from afar, speaks with him through letters, and she sends him letters in the night, keeps contact with this man, but he never finds out who she is. He finally declares his undying love for her in the letter and seeks her out. Of course, he finds out what she is, and is turned to stone in shock from having to gaze upon this supposed love of his life. And he has gone missing. The townsfolk send people after him, which leads to the Medusa being hunted down, all for the crime of loving a man from afar. I fear I have told this story poorly, but...
Roll a
This thing
performance check. With advantage.
Ugh. I was pulling that from the deepest crevice of my memory. It's an old one show I used to run.
Get something with some action.
The individual smiles at you. What a beautiful story. Well, I would say that has earned you a cask of mead, to say the least. He continues sipping from his cup of it, but begins walking back over towards the right-hand building that he came from. Feel free to sit out here as long as you would like and enjoy the view.
You know, Sneak, you're an excellent storyteller.
I'm not so sure. I feel like the general gist was put ahead, but I don't think I did it as much justice as I could have.
I think you did a great job. And my job is to be a storyteller, so I know one when I see one.
Many thanks. I think it's stuck with me because it's a nice story about... Well, I wouldn't say it's a nice story. It's a tragic story about someone who just looks different but has the same feelings as anyone else. And it ending badly for them, as it so often does. I think it's appropriate that resonates with me, but... I don't know.
So,
Well, that was a... Well, if the point of a story is to move the audience, well, very well done.
Thank you, Talon.
Of course, Kai has no taste in good stories. Where's some action? You know?
Where's the
Where's
action?
the
Damn it, I
walking?
wanted a fight.
Bro, who won?
Nobody. That is the
Were there any
point.
hot guys in it?
I mean, yes, but he got turned to stone very early on.
Hey, you were stoned the other day too. But anyways,
Yeah, he's into
Hey.
chicks anyway.
All right, Taryn, chug away.
Right. She finishes the one glass and then starting the next one.
Of course, you have to drink it from the small cups, but you can just fill them up over and over. And you're drinking the entire thing, Taryn, by yourself? Minus
No.
4 cups.
No, I don't need 5 gallons to get drunk.
All
I
right.
should hope not.
Hey, dwarves, man.
True.
So, give me a con save, Taryn. Let's see how much you drink before you find out. Oh, I should stop.
Not a lot.
She drinks it fairly quickly. And then eventually she's in like blackout stage of drunkenness with all of you. And the cask is about half empty.
Oh, jeez, you drink 2.5. Oh, God.
Closer
We
to
should get her.
2. You guys all had 4 cups, total.
Okay. Let's get her back to the inn before we end up in a prison. I guess with some help, it should be relatively easy to get Taryn back to the inn.
She's like 5'1", so she can just be picked up.
Yeah, between all of you, I mean, it's very easy.
As long as it doesn't look like we're kidnapping her. After I asked every apothecary in the city if they can give me something to knock Nelf out.
Good point. Roll me a stealth check, Noana.
Okay, jeez.
Hey! For once, you're being super careful. You're like, oh, fuck.
I'm on
Listen.
a list.
There's not a whole lot of people in this town that'll fuck you up fast, but there are people in this town that'll fuck you up fast. But yeah, you end up going back to the inn, taking her upstairs, and once you open up the rooms in this inn, they are a single twin mattress, a footlocker, and like half of about the width of that twin mattress left in walkable space, and that's what these rooms look like. They are horrendously small.
Okay, well, let's lay Taryn down on her bed
So, sneaking
and
high, because
tuck her in.
this is going to be the more important one. How do you want to do this, sneaking high, with you two sharing a bed? A single twin mattress.
Who's the big spoon? Who's the little spoon?
Take your pick.
There's so many questions. Big spoon, little spoon, top and tail, back to back. I think Sneak's going back to back here.
Okay.
Like Sneak is well aware of Kite.
You're whoring point backwards.
Sneak is well aware of Kai's proclivities, and while he's got no issue with it, he wants no part in it either.
Well, this is new.
It's not like you're the father anymore.
The father would have had different questions to ask.
So yeah, the two of you end up back to back, barely fitting on this bed, half of your knee hanging off the edge. And then Oana, you get Taryn situated, and Taryn, give me a wisdom check again. This time, however, after eating fruit from your homeland and drinking mead from your homeland, you now have advantage.
All right, here we go.
Natural 20.
Wisdom check.
11. You managed to fall asleep. Surprisingly, the DC's not high, it's 10.
Oh my god.
The average elf can force themselves to sleep no problem. Taryn? So,
Doesn't want
Oana,
to sleep.
you're like, holy shit, she's asleep. She's asleep.
I will cast Dream immediately.
Okay. You infiltrate into the stream, and Taryn, now I need a wisdom save from you.
I'm going to use my recap advantage.
You use that already?
I used my game advantage.
19 is high enough to control your dream in the direction that you are heading. Naturally, you go back to the forest during that one pivotal moment, but you manage to focus on a different area, a different mindset, and develop it towards that. And when we come back next week, Taryn will describe what her dream currently looks like as Oana steps into it. So, players, thank you for playing. Viewers, thank you for watching. I hope you all had a fantastic time, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.